Life in the Middle Ages was a nightmare for most people. If you were put on trial, you might have to burn your hands to prove your innocence. Meals could mean eating rats. Just being poor could get you killed. No one was truly safe back then. Why was pain and hardship part of everyday life? Here are the 10 worst things people faced in the Middle Ages. Read on if you're brave enough. Number 10. Doctors just cut open your head. No numbing. Think about this for a second. You fall off a horse, or you faint in church, or you scream through the night with headaches that feel like fire. Your family calls the town doctor. You hope for help, but the guy walks in with a metal drill and a knife. He looks at your shaking body, shrugs, and says something like, "Too much pressure in the head. We will open it." And before you even get a chance to argue, 2 men hold your shoulders, another grabs your jaw, and the surgeon places the tool right against your skull. No numbing, no painkillers, no mercy. The drill scrapes, your bone groans, and you feel every horrifying second as he twists and cuts a round hole straight into your head. People today call this trepanation. Medieval surgeons call it fixing you. Archaeologists in Spain have found skulls with these neat circular holes and new bone growth around them, which proves some people actually survive this nightmare. Many bleed out or die days later from infection because nobody knows what germs are. They just think your humors are out of balance. That's why the backup treatment is bleeding you. Fever? Bleed you? Sad? Bleed you? Too tired? Bleed you? A barber surgeon ties off your arm, slices a vein, and lets the blood pour out into a bowl. If they have leeches, great. They slap 3 hungry ones on your skin and wait. Even kings deal with this, popes too. Nobody escapes the knife, blade, or worm-like leech. People joke today about bad doctors. In the Middle Ages, you pray the doctor doesn't kill you faster than the illness. And now, imagine this. After all that pain, you still might end up in court holding red-hot iron to prove you're innocent. Number 9. They used hot metal to check if you lied. Picture this. Your neighbor accuses you of stealing a chicken, or you argue with the wrong noble, or someone just dislikes your face. Suddenly, the town wants to test your honesty. They bring out a thick iron bar, heat it until it glows bright orange, and place it on a wooden table. The whole village gathers. Kids climb fences just to see who screams first. The priest stands there like a referee. The judge says, "Pick it up, walk 3 steps." That's trial by ordeal. No lawyers, no evidence, just fire. You reach down, your heart smashing against your ribs, and grab the burning metal. It sears through your skin. You feel the heat tear into your flesh. You drop it, stumble back, and everyone watches your hand swell and bubble. They wrap your hand. Then they send you home and tell you to wait 3 days. Everyone whispers about you. People stare at your door, wondering if your wound will rot or heal. 3 days later, they unwrap the bandage. If your hand looks clean, you walk free. If it looks infected, blistered, or worse, you're guilty. God tells the truth. Real people die because of this. During the First Crusade, Peter Bartholomew tries to prove he's honest by walking through fire. He burns so badly that he dies days later, and people say his death proves he lied. This whole system runs for centuries. Europe uses it everywhere: England, France, Germany. It only stopped when the church banned priests from helping in 1215. Too many innocent people fry their skin for no reason. Imagine living in a world where your fate depends on how fast your burn heals. And now imagine this. The same crowds who watch these trials also watch executions like they're the weekend entertainment. Number 8. Executions were basically free public shows. Try to imagine a festival where the main event is someone's death. That's what public execution looked like in the Middle Ages. On market day, you don't just buy bread and meat. Sometimes you bring the whole family to see a hanging or burning. In the middle of the city, they build a scaffold. Sometimes it's a simple rope, sometimes a big bonfire for burning. For traitors or big crimes, things get ugly. They drag the person through town, half choke them, then cut them open and rip out organs. They chop off heads and nail them to the city gate. Real story. Dafydd ap Gruffydd, a Welsh prince, rebels against the king. He's hanged, cut up, and his body parts are sent all over England as a warning. The crowds go wild. Kids eat pies and stare. Vendors shout out snacks. Preachers shout about sin. People watch every second like it's their favorite show. Sometimes the person fighting for life is crying or praying. Other times they say nothing, and that silence is louder than a scream. This isn't just about punishment. It's about showing everyone, don't mess with the rules. The fear sticks with people for weeks. There's no way to forget it. The show ends, but the memory burns in your head. Now, if you think public death is bad, wait until you hear what some lords claim the right to do on your wedding night. Number 7. Your boss could take your wife to bed first. There's an old story that terrifies peasants. People say if you get married, your lord can demand to sleep with your bride before you do. The so-called right of the first night. Historians today say there's no real law for it, but that doesn't mean people sleep easy. The threat feels real when you're powerless. Here's what actually happens. Lords hold all the power. Want to marry? You pay the lord a fee called merchant. Your wedding needs his blessing or it doesn't happen. In some places, lords do force themselves on women or use their status to scare families. No one can stop them. If a lord decides to take what he wants, most people keep quiet or pretend they didn't see. Stories from the time show how real the fear is. One old book tells of Gerald of Aurillac, a lord who orders a woman brought to his bed. He changes his mind at the last second, and everyone calls it a miracle. That's considered holy because lords abusing women is so common, it's expected. If you're a bride, your new life starts with fear. If the Lord takes an interest, nobody in your village can help. The rumor alone is enough to make young couples nervous for life. But the problems don't end in the bedroom. Even your bathroom brings its own nightmares, and not for the reasons you'd expect. Number 6. People literally threw their poop into the street. Forget clean bathrooms. Imagine living in a city where the sidewalk is the toilet. In medieval towns, you wake up, grab the chamber pot, and dump last night's business straight out the window. People yell, "Gardy-loo," to warn anyone below, but if you're not quick, you get drenched in someone else's pee and crap. There are no drains worth mentioning. Streets turn into rivers of sludge when it rains. It's not just people either. Horses, pigs, chickens, they all roam the alleys and leave their mess everywhere. Slaughterhouses dump animal guts in the street. Butchers pour blood right into the gutter. Some houses have cesspits underground, but those fill up fast, so gong farmers crawl down at night to shovel out the thickest, most disgusting soup you can imagine. People really die from this. In London, a man named Richard the Raker falls through a rotten toilet seat and literally drowns in sewage. Rats live in the filth, bringing disease. Plagues, typhoid, and dysentery spread like wildfire. You can smell a city before you see it. If you think this is just poor folks, think again. Even rich people have to deal with stink, just with more privacy and deeper pits. The whole city is a living sewer, and nobody understands germs. Filth becomes the background noise of life. But if you think street filth is a nightmare, wait until you see what happens to women every time a baby is born. Number 5. Giving birth? Hope you survive. Imagine knowing every pregnancy could kill you, or your baby, or both. For women in the Middle Ages, childbirth feels like playing Russian roulette. Hospitals don't exist. There are no real doctors for women, just midwives and prayers to saints. No antibiotics, no clean tools, no painkillers. The numbers are brutal. About 3 out of 10 babies die before their first birthday. Half of all children never reach adulthood. Even queens and princesses lose children. King Edward I of England and his wife have 16 kids, but most don't survive. For mothers, things are just as bad. If the birth gets stuck or you bleed too much, there's nothing anyone can do. People tie holy relics to your bed. They chant prayers, hoping for a miracle. Some families don't name the baby for weeks, afraid they'll have to bury it right away. Midwives use whatever they can find, sometimes even fungus called ergot, to make labor go faster, but that can poison you. Infection is everywhere. One bad cut or dirty hand, and a fever takes you within days. Husbands often bury wife after wife, just trying to keep the family line alive. Behind every cottage door, there are stories of women screaming in pain and babies who never take a first breath. If you make it through, people see you as lucky, not just strong. Number 4, if you were starving, you'd eat anything. Across Europe in 1315, rain fell for months, crops rot in the fields, and whole villages ran out of grain before winter even started. Chroniclers write that the summer never warms, and people stare at empty barns wondering how long they can hold on. Hunger changes every rule. It changes people too. Think about what you would do if your children cry all night because their stomachs feel like fire. Food prices jump so fast that even farmers can't buy grain. Bread stretches with bark, leaves, or crushed beans. Many chew boiled leather from old shoes. Some dig up roots until their hands split. A few search for dead animals by the road, hoping something is left to scrape off. You hear stories of people eating rats and dogs. Then the stories get darker. Chroniclers in 1317 claim people open graves when things get truly desperate. Another danger grows inside the bread. Rye infected with ergot fungus brings burning pain, hallucinations, and blackened limbs. People call it St. Anthony's fire. Whole villages shake and scream at night from poisoned grain. Nobody understands why. Folks blame demons, saints, or the weather. Death counts rise across France, England, the Low Countries, and Germany. Some areas lose 10% of their population in just 2 years. Families sell everything for a handful of oats. Some sell themselves into service just to survive another week. Hunger turns neighbors into rivals and strangers into threats. And now imagine this. When a father tries to escape the famine by fleeing his village, the law says his body still belongs to the landowner, and when the harvest fails, luck disappears. Hunger makes people even more desperate, and that's the next horror. Number 3, if you were poor, you were basically owned. In medieval Europe, many newborns enter the world already tied to someone else's land. Being a serf means the ground under your feet decides your entire future. You grow up working the same soil your parents and grandparents worked. Leaving the manor without permission breaks the law, so people grow up knowing escape carries real danger. Daily life builds around duty. You plow the Lord's fields for several days each week. You repair fences, dig ditches, haul timber, and help harvest crops that you never get to keep. A serf owes taxes in grain, eggs, or labor. Some manors charge a fee if your daughter marries a man from outside the estate. Some charge for having a child outside marriage. These rules control nearly every choice, and the Lord has the final word. Runaway serfs appear in court records across England and France. Judges list names, ages, and manners while ordering sheriffs to drag them back. Many get caught within weeks. A few hide in towns long enough to blend in, since laws in some cities free anyone who stays a full year. But surviving that long takes luck and help from strangers who risk punishment. Wives carry fears too. A lord can block a marriage or claim fines that push families into debt for years. Workloads rise during war or famine, so even your body becomes part of the manor's emergency plan. People accept it because they have no power to challenge it. And then comes the danger that grows when people look different, speak strangely, or act outside the rules, something that turns fear into fire for thousands of victims. Number 2, think someone's weird? Burn them as a witch. People always look for someone to blame. In medieval Europe, that gets dangerous fast. By the late 1300s, ordinary folks whispered about witches, anyone different or unlucky. Maybe a widow's cows keep dying. Maybe a girl knows how to heal cuts with plants. Sometimes you just speak out of turn. Once suspicion starts, it spreads like fire. In 1390, Jeanne de Brigue, living near Paris, had a reputation for finding lost things. The wrong neighbor points a finger. She goes on trial, and the court burns her alive for witchcraft. These stories aren't rare. Records show dozens of early witch trials before the big witch hunts ever start. People use the law to control anyone who doesn't fit. In 1431, a French teenager, Joan of Arc, stood in chains. Her crime is hearing saints' voices and fighting for her country. Churchmen grill her for months, twisting every word. They call her a witch for wearing armor and cutting her hair short. 10,000 people watch as she burns at the stake. Years later, she's declared innocent, but it doesn't matter for the real Joan. Witch hunts are fueled by gossip, fear, and the need to blame someone when things go wrong. If crops fail or a child dies, villagers look for a scapegoat. Punishments hit hard and fast. People can lose everything for being different. So, while fear rules the court and fire eats up the innocent, another kind of danger plays out in broad daylight, where even being a champion can mean dying in front of a crowd. Number 1. Getting hurt or killed. Was just part of sports pull people together, but in medieval times, they pull armor and sharpen lances. Imagine cheering for your favorite knight, knowing he might never get up again. Tournaments start in the 11th century as wild mock battles, huge crowds, dozens of men on horseback, and a prize for whoever stays standing. Sometimes 80 or more fighters die in one tournament, like the bloody melee recorded in Germany. It isn't just random knights, either. In 1559, King Henry II of France suited up to joust for glory. His opponent's lance shatters and sends a splinter through Henry's eye, deep into his brain. The king dies after days of agony. All of France mourns, and nobles start thinking twice about the sport. Jousting gets most of the attention, but the crowd wants more: violence, pageantry, and raw power. People bet on who lives and who gets carried off the field. Horses go down just as often as men, breaking legs and necks to the cheers and groans of the audience. The worst part? Kids watch, hoping to be next in the saddle. Blood stains the sand, but the game goes on. To win fame means risking everything, right in front of friends, rivals, and kings. Some say these games unite a kingdom. Others wonder how many mothers walk home without a son. Death and glory ride side by side every season. Still, compared to living through ordinary medieval life, a quick death in the arena almost sounds merciful. After all, some people face horrors before they're even old.